Hello everyone, Chaos here, and welcome to another old school RuneScape video. It's that time of the year once again. Last Saturday we were treated to Jagex's Summer Summit 2024, showcasing a bunch of new content coming in the second half of 2024 and beyond. We got announcements pretty much everyone was expecting, some that were 50-50, and other ideas that came out of nowhere. Today, I want to summarize the entire livestream and give you my personal thoughts about each piece of content. Boys and girls, remember to subscribe with notifications on, since we will be covering every single future update both live on streams and on our weekly uploads. Don't forget to drop a cheeky like and join our Discord server with the link in the description. I will talk about key points during the Summer Summit, and I will order them from least to most exciting in my personal opinion, giving you a few quick thoughts before moving on to the more exciting updates coming soon. I will ask you for your opinion towards the end of the video for our weekly bond giveaway, so make sure to stick around to share your thoughts. For now, let's begin with this absolute massive batch of updates coming to Old School RuneScape in the near future. Let's talk about topics that are confirmed to come in the second half of 2024 and early 2025. Like I said before, I'm going to order these what in my personal opinion is from least to most interesting, and because you guys know that I don't really like the Wildy, I'm not a big fan of PvP, we will start with Wrathmaw, the new Wildy world boss. A boss that will be able to spawn in random worlds, in random locations in the wilderness, and it will be limited to 3 spawns per day. This is going to incentivize people in different time zones to go with your friends. Whenever you kill this new boss, apparently what's going to happen is that you will get a new reward called Worm Teeth that you're going to be able to trade in at a new shop, or you can dismantle them to for 2,000 ether each. Now, what you use these new teeth for is that there's going to be a new shop where the very first thing you're going to be able to buy is an item in order to amplify PvP-specific weapons. So far, the only things we have, I would say, proposed for this are the AGS, the Dark Bow, the Volatile Nightmare Staff, being able to combine the Mage's Book with a Tome of Fire, and finally a new shield that is going to combine the Odium Ward, the Malediction Ward, and the Obby Shield to make a new Tribrid Shield called the Trinity Shield, I believe it's called. As I have seen on Reddit and Twitter, this doesn't look like it's going to be very popular amongst people, so I have it here because I don't really like the Wildy too much, but also because there's a very big chance that this doesn't even pass the polls. So if you're a PvPer, I wouldn't get too excited for it. I voted yes, but yeah, let's just not get our hopes up for this one. A couple of cool rewards for this, but this is something you're definitely going to be able to skip. And if it has a new pet, I really hope it's a super low rate, because this is not going to spawn too often in the game. A small update coming in the future, but a little more exciting than Wildy content in my personal opinion, is a new master quest called the Curse of Arrav, which is going to continue the Majorat storyline, hopefully in preparation of the grand finale, which is going to maybe combine both the Desert Treasure to While Gothic Sleeps, and is definitely going to be probably the most exciting and most ambitious quest in the entire history of Old School RuneScape. And saying that after Desert Treasure 2 is actually something that I have a lot of hope for. After the completion of this quest, you will have access to Zamoreagle's Fortress, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, and you will be able to fight a superior version of armored zombies, which if the lesser ones are able to give you the zombie axe, these new ones will be able to drop a new zombie helmet that will fall between the Dwarven helmet and the Inquisitor's Great Helmet. I don't really think, I can't really think of anywhere where this would be useful, because if you want to go to the Wildy to kill Calvarion, or maybe use use your Ursine Chainmace or on something that requires crush bonus, you wouldn't really want to take an item this expensive to the Wildy, but we'll have to see if they add something more exciting to it in order for you to include this in your setup for any boss in the future. And speak of the devil, Jagex is planning on adding 2 brand new encounters in the form of a Fire Giant and Ice Giant boss to go along Obor and Bryophyta. What they mentioned on stream is that this is intended for mid-level players that are starting their PvM journey, and if you have something like Scurrius down, like all of the mechanics, if you know how to prayer switch, how to move, how to heal the correct order, the beginning of the tick system mechanic, then this is definitely going to be the next step into, for you to get into those higher tier encounters and gain a lot more confidence on your PvM journey. What they said is that they are too early into development to even show anything about these bosses. We only have maybe verbal confirmation of this happening, but we don't have any design of the bosses, where they are going to be, and more specifically, we don't have any rewards coming from the bosses, but hopefully it is going to be something that helps these mid-level players fight these bosses a little more efficiently, or something maybe before the bludgeon, maybe the new zombie axe, the whip, and something that will hopefully help these players with experience gains in order to advance those levels faster, to get into those high-level encounters. Okay, let's now get into some juicier stuff, starting with massive game jam projects we have seen in other blogs that I have covered in previous videos. Some of these are cosmetic, and some of them are going to fundamentally change the way we do a lot of things in the game, and hopefully these come out in January of 2025. The very first one that we have is a potential rework of the collection log interface, in which we are going to see how many of them we have. There's going to be brand new categories. We're going to be able to see our previous or our latest collection log slot unlocks, and this is going to be able to give you some new cosmetic rewards for you to showcase how many of these you have unlocked. It goes from, like every 100 collection log slots all the way up until 90% of the entire log slot completed. That is going to give you the best cosmetic reward, and this is going to be I would say, a little masochistic, because it means you're going to have to do a lot of things that are not really enjoyable, like Mage Training Arena, Castle Wars, Trouble Brewing, but a lot of respect for people who have even up to 1,000 plus collection log slots. This one is going to be for you. Another massive one that we are going to get is basically sub-menus for teleporting items or things that you needed to have a little second interface in order to teleport, or maybe do some other things like the Maxscape, for example. What Mudhusky mentioned is that this is meant to be for the Maxscape because it has so much utility, but pretty much all of the teleporting jewelry is going to, enjoy these changes, so you don't really have to, go through another interface that can be interrupted by combat or interrupted by just you walking or doing something else. Up next, we have a great looking bank deposit interface, and this is not only going to work for skilling. They basically said if you want to go on your Slayer trips and you want to go resupply, you can lock certain items in your inventory, and then when you deposit all of them, you are not going to deposit the ones that are locked in order for you to not lose them, and so you don't have to re-grab everything for your trip. And this is also going to be absolutely massive for skilling, for things like crafting, fletching, and other things that you can do bank standing for getting your 99s really quickly. Finally, we have more POH customization. So far, they showed, I believe it was a Priffinus looking one, a Mauritania, I would say, look for the POH. And it looks like these, if you remember, many years ago, we were supposed to get these out of partnerships with other companies, just like the purple skin that you would get for your Twitch Prime. But Jagex is not, or I would say the community was not really a big fan of this when it was proposed. So now we are getting it, as is, no strings attached. If you're watching this video on release, September 9th, we only have 2.5 weeks to go in order to experience the newest expansion to the Varlamore area called Darkness Rises. This will bring a bunch of new content, maybe not as exciting as, for example, the Fortress Colosseum, but it is going to give us a bunch of new things to try on release, and something that hopefully is going to keep us occupied for a few weeks. Most exciting in my opinion, we have the Wacoatl. It is going to be a brand new group encounter. What are these new rewards? The Dragon Hunter Wand. It is going to be the magic equivalent to the Dragon Hunter Crossbow and the Dragon Hunter Lance to close out the combat triangle. We're also going to get the Tome of Earth, which is going to increase, obviously, the power of Earth spells, and this is going to be massive for metal dragons, and we will yet have to see how this is going to increase your DPS at the Wacoatl itself. From the boss, we are going to also get a brand new Dragon Hide, or I would say Wacoatl Hide armor, that is going to rival or even be a little better than Ancient D Hide, as I said in my gear progression guide video. The most exciting, again in my opinion that doesn't involve combat, is a new seed for a new herb for a new potion that is going to be the Prayer Regeneration Potion. We have seen this in other videos, and whenever you drink a dose of this, it will give you prayer every few ticks, and this is going to give you even more prayer overall for a single dose. So this is going to be something that you will always want to take in your Slayer trips if you want to go to the Inferno, the Fight Caves, because this will be more cost effective and is going to give you more prayer over the curse of the duration than a normal prayer, Super Restore, or Samfew would. The next activity is a new Herblore, I would say, minigame, and the activity itself, we don't know a lot of details about it yet, other than what I've seen in, what I've mentioned in previous videos, where you will have to maybe, I would say, break down your herbs, your seeds. You're going to have new secondaries in order to make your herb or maybe your potion orders, I believe, for other clients. And when you do this enough, you will get points in order to get some amazing rewards from the minigame. The very first one, and most important in my opinion, is going to be a tradable pre-pot device that you're going to be able to set, I would say it's like a maximum of 6 pots in order to do it, I would say, for most to least important, so you don't have to pre-pot with 6 potions before your Slayer trips. The second one is going to be a an item for your head that is going to have a chance to save a secondary ingredient. So this will definitely be nice for your Herblore adventures if you're not 99 already. Finally, again, we're going to have a brand new potion, just like the prayer regeneration potion, that is going to be called a potion of goading. And if you don't know what this is, it's basically the aggression potion from RuneScape 3. If you go to an area with monsters that are not aggressive to you, you will drink this and they are going to all aggro on you, whether it be single or multi-combat. And as long as you you turn auto retaliate on, this is going to make it so you are going to, AFK for longer periods of time, and that is going to be massive. We also have a pouch for secondary ingredients that you're going to take out from, from it automatically in order to train prayer, and hopefully is going to save a couple of ticks, again, for you to go to 99. We're also going to get a reward for potion storage in the bank, and that is going to save so many spaces, so you don't have to buy bank space for a ton of money. Sorry, UIMs, this is not for you because, you don't have access to a bank. Finally, we have the Colossal Worm Agility course. This was supposed to come at the end, or not at the end, sorry, with Varlamore Part 1, but for some unexplained reasons, I guess, this didn't happen. And we are now going to get it along with a new Graceful recolor set. It's going to basically change the entire look of Graceful, as well as a Bone Squirrel, I would say transmog for the pet, in case you already have it and you want a new look for it. Varlamore Part 2 seems to, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of content from it, but it's definitely going to keep us occupied for, even hopefully a couple of weeks to unlock all of those items for the collection lock slot and hopefully make a ton of money. Another topic I have to mention relatively quickly, because we don't have as much information on it as we did with Varlamore Part 2, is Varlamore Part 3, which Jagex are calling the Final Dawn. This is going to close out the entire series and all of the lore coming in the entire area of Varlamore. And it is going to come with new quests. I mean, they mentioned plural, so hopefully we get more than one. And these are hopefully going to be more challenging than what we have seen in the brand new area. We will also get a new fletching activity, which I saw Jagex mentioning that they want to add the rewards for the skill, but honestly, this skill is just so boring that even a brand new activity to train in maybe other way that's not cutting logs, stringing logs, making darts is going to be reward enough. We will also have a new Slayer dungeon with maybe more creatures that is going to have maybe some passive, like we have the Catacombs of Karend, where you can get the Ancient Shards, the Ironwood Slayer dungeon, which you can get Crystal Shards from, and hopefully these will bring a new mechanic with the new Slayer, not new Slayer monsters, but in the new Slayer area with current Slayer monsters. The most important part is that we are getting a brand new Enraged boss, the very first of its kind in old school RuneScape. If you don't know what it means, this is another inspired, I would say, mechanic from RuneScape 3. And basically what this means is that when you fight a boss at 0 Enraged, which is, you fight it for the very first time, it is going to have its mechanics, its health, its power at a, pretty consistent rate and challenging for late or end game players. However, when you defeat the boss, you will be able to loot your items, or you can sacrifice your current loot in order to keep going, but when this happens, the monster is going to be stronger and stronger and stronger. You can do this as many times as possible for as long as your supplies allow it, and this is basically the high risk versus high reward that the high level community has been looking for so long. Basically, in RuneScape 3, this goes up to 4,000% enraged. I never really got into RuneScape 3 bossing to do any boss. The only one that I recall is Telos, and we also have the Archglysaur that I never really did, but I don't know what the, I would say, mechanic for this is. Like, if you defeat it fast enough, if you do so much damage, then how high does the enrage go in order for it to make it more challenging on your next fight? This is something that is not going to be, I would say, as harsh, because in RuneScape 3 you can do like millions of damage per second, and you can heal millions of damage per second, you can avoid abilities, you can block damage, you can pretty much resurrect. So since we don't have those tools in old school RuneScape, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be super challenging, but it's definitely going to keep high level community engaged, and hopefully it is more difficult than the Fortress Colosseum, because it looks like this will be the brand new, I would say, standard in order to make it challenging bosses in old school RuneScape. It is no secret that I am a Leagues fanatic, and that is why this topic goes at the very end, because we finally have a date for the next event, Leagues 5 Raging Echoes, dropping on November 2024. When I saw the map at first, I was worried because it had locks, and I was like, dude, another region locked league is going to be maybe a little underwhelming, or, maybe just like switch it up a little bit. But now, what Jagex mentioned is that even though we are going to have sort of the same mechanic for it, The mega weapons are not going to be the most important part of your path. In the previous league, if you wanted to go melee, you were kind of locked into going Mauritania for the scythe. If you wanted to go ranged, you kind of wanted to go chambers for the T-bow, or even the ruby bolts that ended up being, you know, a little more popular for bosses. And if you wanted to go magic, you kind of had to go desert in order to get that Atumican shadow. This time around, there is going to be a brand new mechanic, what the Jagex are calling Echo bosses, which are going to be more powerful, have new mechanics, and basically be up to par with the new power that we are going to get from the relics and also combat masteries. And we will hopefully get brand new items we have never seen before in the game or in any league in the past. And this is what's going to dictate what you want for your path. And that is not going to restrict you to a certain, I would say, like combination of regions for your combat style. You could definitely go Fremennik and kill the Dagon Kings. That will drop a new, like absolutely broken magic weapon that is going to be useful for whatever you do in the game. You could potentially have a brand new melee item dropping from the Corrupted Gauntlet, and that doesn't necessarily mean you have to go to Terranduin area for the ranged effect, for the Bofa, for the Blowpipe. So this is definitely going to switch everything up in order to make it more interesting. And as long as they have new, I would say, mechanics or maybe incentives in order for you not to go for the same area, the same path again, I am super excited for this once again, and I miss leagues so much. I can't wait to degen out it maybe 12 plus hours a day in this amazing new event. The only reward they have for now is a little cosmetic for the Venator bow, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be cooking up something because this league theme is going to be blue, so I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to, you know, cook something up that a lot of players are going to be using a lot of points for. So boys and girls, make sure to tune in November 2024. We are going to be streaming leagues every single day until we reach that Dragon Cup. So boys and girls, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you are as excited as I am for some of these updates coming in the future. And if you want to join our weekly bond giveaway, tell me what you think of any or all of the updates mentioned now, whether you're looking forward to the most, what you liked, what you disliked. And if you include the term RSN in your comments, I will include you in our weekly bond giveaway, for which I will pick a winner on Friday's stream. I want to give a massive thank you to the people you see on screen for monetarily supporting this project I love so much. Every single cent from your memberships goes towards my starving family in a third world country and feeding my army of donkeys. If you want to be in this list and support what I do here, if you enjoy the videos, the live streams, and of course the Discord community, you can click the join button below and see all of the cool perks and benefits you can get in the videos, in the live streams, and of course in the Discord. I'm pretty sure you're going to find something that piques your interest. In the next one, we will go over brand new training methods we have had thanks to massive quality of life changes in 2024, and maybe some prior, in order to get those 99 gains a little quicker or a little more bearable. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to it, but for now, again, hopefully you have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, and I will see you then. Peace.